Welcome to Every Coach Needs a Coach, the podcast for coaches of all sports and all age groups to learn from coaches and people they may otherwise never have the chance to meet. Today on See One, Do One, Teach One, we are continuing to talk about influence. There's a great article written by Forbes called The 5 Principles to Follow If You Want to Influence Others. So I'll post a link to it in the comments. But there were 5 things that they pointed out, and I'll read them to you now, right? The first is influence is a persuasive process. It doesn't happen all at once. 2, influence is a product of trust. 3, when people feel heard, they're more open to being influenced. 4, influence requires persuasively communicating. And 5, influence isn't about winning, it's about solving problems. So there are 2 points there that I just want to emphasize, and we could talk probably for hours about each one. The first one there is influence requires persuasively communicating. So they give 5 concrete steps on how to persuasively communicate, which are so simple, right? So simple. How could it work? Here's what they are. The first one is describe the current state, right? What's going on now? So playing time, we all deal with that issue, right? What's going on? I don't think I'm playing enough. Or you aren't. The reality is they're not playing at all, right? In games. That's what's going on now. So the second is establish a need or a problem, right? Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with why you're not playing? Are you unhappy about it? Is it because you're hurt, right? What's wrong? What's the problem with it? And what needs to change to solve that problem? So then the third part is describe the desired state, right? What does good look like? What does solved look like? And why is it important to make that change? So good might look like I play 5 minutes a game, coach. Good might look like I play the whole game, coach. Good might look like I play the whole game and I score 40 points, coach. We got to know what good looks like. The fourth part there is satisfy or solve, right? So what needs to be done to get to that success? What steps can we take to solve it or make that happen? And understand their perspective. Now I'm using this for playing time. We can use it for anything else. The fifth is visualize, right? What are the benefits when that's solved? And why is that better? Now, is that better for the team? Is that better for the athlete? Is it better for the whole program that you're working within? What is the benefit of solving this problem? Okay. And then the fifth part there is call to action, right? To get commitment or agreement. Now, Forbes is a business magazine. So they're talking about having deals and doing things from a business. It applies to us. It absolutely applies to coaching. So getting commitment or agreement. Okay. In order to get the steps we just went through, right? What's the current state? What is success? How do we get to success? Can you commit to getting towards that success? Here are the steps you need to take. That's persuasive communicating. That's a really succinct and nice way to put it. So I'll link all that up. You guys don't have to remember that, but I'm going to put that in the articles that I put underneath the video on the podcast here. And tying in with that and that persuasive communicating is the second point they make, which is influence is a product of trust. Trust is built on honesty and over time, honesty, right? Trust is doing what we say we were going to do with our players, ourselves, our staff, our organization, our administration. And being honest can be uncomfortable, right? Things can always change, right? I know some coaches who will say, I don't want to tell a player they're not going to play because things could change. That's fine. That's good. The player needs to know that. Hey player, if things stay exactly as they are, I don't anticipate you playing a lot, if at all. If something changes, if you get better, if another kid gets hurt, if our schedule changes, if something changes, then you could play, right? That's still a way to be honest with them without really coddling them. And being dishonest leads to way longer term and potentially disastrous results. So if we're to be any kind of influence, good or bad, our organization has to trust us. And if we're to be trusted, then we have to be honest. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me today. Thank you for listening. Keep getting better every day.